Dcryptofan, what's going on, beautiful people? What's going on? It's Monday. Hope y'all had a good weekend, man. How's everything? Hope everybody's tuned in. What's going on? It's Dcryptofan, and today I see a lot of stuff been going on in the chat. My homeboys, we talked about this about 3-4 days ago because Canton keeps coming up in the chat. Canton keeps coming up in the chat. So we looked up what Canton does, and now it's getting to the point where people are saying, is it Canton versus XRP? I was like, what? And it's funny because we just looked up Canton last week and seen what Canton does. And then next thing I know, I'm looking in the chat, my homeboys, they're talking about Canton versus XRP. They're saying the XRP. I was like, no, man, that's not. So let's get into this, man. So anyway, I want to get into this Canton XRP. We have a lot actually to get into. We have Canton. We're gonna talk about Canton versus XRP. We're gonna talk about the DTC. Tamilyn, what's going on? Tamilyn sent me a lot of content for us to go over. Actually, a lot. H bar, FedEx, also Evernorth becoming. Evernorth is a brokerage, so the DTC. Now they're saying that they're gonna allow them to start being listed to go ahead and to basically brokerage. Basically, we brokerage. They deal with hedge funds, retirement funds. What else do they deal with? And I'm talking about Evernorth. That's remember I told you about Brad Garland House. I mean, not sorry. Your boy Chris Larson putting that 1.1 in SPI, that $1 billion company. That's what we're talking about. They're a brokerage. So what that does will allow them to invest people's monies. That's what we're talking about. But anyway, let's get into this. We got so much stuff to get into, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Then it's a lot. It's a lot. Well, let's get into it, man. So there's a lot of people on the internet and on social media that are saying that there's a pick between Canton and XRP. First of all, understand they do two different things. So let's get that out the way. Let's just get that out the way. So they're not competing with each other because they do two different things. So you understand, Canton is doing security, keeping messages and keeping security between two users for banks and institutions. XRP moves money at scale. It's two different things. So when you're talking about Canton and you're talking about XRP, you're talking about two different things. And this is crazy because we talked about this last week. What I'm realizing is that our chat is ahead of the our chat is I'm realizing our chat is like 3-4 days ahead of what everybody else is talking about. That's what I'm realizing, like we're really ahead of the game because we just were talking about Canton last week. It's crazy because it kept coming up in the chat. Everybody kept talking about Canton. So we said, you know what, let's look it up. And it's crazy. We went digging in the crates because and now Canton's coming up everywhere. Isn't that wild? James Davidson. We got everybody getting in the building. Hope y'all had a good weekend. If you just tuned in, River Rat, what's going on? If you just tuned in as Dcryptofan, tonight we're gonna be talking about Canton versus XRP. It got so wild that me and my homeboys, it went up in our chat. And then it got so wild that Yahoo reported on it also. So let's get into this Canton Crypto Network. Wait 1 second, y'all. Let me get this a little bit higher. Sorry about that. This thing been acting up lately. Wait 1 second here. It's just a little bit higher. Make sure y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me clear? Just make sure y'all can hear me clear. Make sure y'all can hear me. All right, so let's get into this. This is on. You can find this article on Yahoo Finance. All you got to do is put in Google, go into Google search, and you put Canton versus XRP. You'll see this, and this is on Yahoo. It's not no backyard magazine. It's Yahoo Finance. So let's go. Canton Crypto Network versus XRP breakdown. DTC infrastructure and liquidity needs. Now we're going to talk about DTC, okay? The heated debate has appeared across crypto industries. Will Canton onboard the institutions or will it be XRP? And this is wild because they do two different things. All right, so let's get into this. I'm going to have to do an episode on this, it look like. A heated debate has erupted over Canton Network is quietly positioning itself to replace XRP, likely onboarding institutions in crypto technology. So basically, what they're saying, there's people out here that are saying that Canton is going to go ahead and overtake XRP on onboarding. They do two different things. So that's the thing. That's how rumors get. That's how rumors get taken. People have this understanding there can only be one. They do two different things. They're not in competition with each other. Julia, what's going on? Let's get into this. All right. Let's follow me now. So the DTC processes quadrillion values annually. Okay. The market is suddenly debating the repercussions of the decision of pivoting to real world assets, tokenization to help off of Canton. Remember what tokenization is? Taking basically paper ownership and making it digital. Okay? So let's keep it going. The binary review has flawed. Canton Network has built private rails for compliance while XRP provides liquidity that moves between them. Listen again. Once again, this is binary review is flawed. This is what it's saying. So basically saying that the thought of what y'all thinking is wild. No, it doesn't work like that. So when they're saying the binary view is flawed, they're basically saying Canton builds a private rails for compliance while XRP provides liquidity and moves between them. All right? Listen, the infrastructure, Canton, listen, let me go to, first of all, let's get into what Canton does. Because one thing I want to make sure that everybody understands what's going on. And I'm not telling you what to go buy. This is, remember, I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm not here to sell you on Canton. You know, I'm not doing it. I'm trying to explain to y'all and just teach y'all so you understand with example, because it keeps coming up in the chat. So I see it keeps coming up, and it came up in my personal chat with me and my homeboys. I said, you know what? Let's clear the air and make sure that everybody understands exactly what's going on. All right. So Canton builds private compliant rails. Okay. XRP provides liquidity between them. Okay. This is okay. So there's no competition. That's two separate layers. Understand this. So Canton Network launched digitally in 2023. Private provision blockchains built to regulate institutions focus on RWA tokenizations, use for diamond smart contracts, enables atomic settlement, okay? It's designed for Goldman Sachs, BMW Mellon, big TradFi institutions, okay? It prioritizes privacy, compliance, data protection, controlled access, okay? Canton is like a vault system, okay? This is private ledger, tokenized treasury live, okay? This is what it is. Now understand. Now this is what happens. Now the article says, this is what the article says. So XRP solves the liquidity, not the custody. So XRP was built to fix nostril strap capital, pre-fund accounts. So what happens is, remember, when you're moving money with the old TradFi, they have to pre-fund that money. They have to have that money in that account. With XRP's liquidity is right there. You don't have to pre-fund nothing. You're getting that money in 5 seconds. All right? So listen, slow cross-border settlement. XRP is a natural bridge asset, okay? It's different. Sounds levels, FX swap mechanics, liquidity corridors, two different things. XRP is high-speed connector, two different things. So understand, Canton tokenized RWAs. Understand? So it's two different things. Please understand that. All right. So this is when, and it's funny because we talked about it in the chat. Oh, wow. Sorry about that. I see this thing dropping. This thing must have been dropping like this. Yeah, we talked about it in chat because it keeps coming up with Canton. So all that is even made to Yahoo that people had to bring it up in an article. So this conception is that this only could be one coin is wild. Okay, so let's keep it going. You can find this article right on Yahoo Finance. The infrastructure Canton Network is designed for privacy, preservation of tokenized real-world assets like U.S. Treasuries, ensuring regulatory compliance on a private ledger. Understand? Remember, most most ledgers and the whole thing with blockchain is to be transparent. But they're saying they're going to do it with compliance and keep it all private. That's what Canton's doing. XRP does not do that. XRP is meant to move money at scale. Two different things, please. The role of XRP's function is as a neutral bridge asset across border liquidity, solving pre-funding problems rather than custody problems. Understand? The single atomic settlement on Canton's compliant liquidity corridors. XRP ledger is distinct layer institutional crypto stack. Two different things, all right? So people can stop putting Canton and XRP against each other. They work together, all right? People, listen. So people were coming up with, yo, there's gonna, Canton is coming for XRP. How? It's like they say, oh yeah, HBAR or XDC, two different things. They do tokenization, but they tokenize two different things. HBAR is a rail, okay? Ondo is actually what tokenizes paper, okay? So just understand, they all do different tools, okay? They're not, so some people like, oh, it only could be one. No, they do two different things. Let's keep it going, all right? So the role of XRP functions as a neutral bridge asset for cross-border liquidity. When you hear liquidity, understand that's money. That's liquid cash. You see, when you hear liquidity, that's when you see liquid. That means right now, liquidity. Ludo One, what's going on? Appreciate you. So whenever you hear them say liquidity, that's liquid cash. That's not tomorrow. That's not yesterday. That's liquid, meaning you can go take it right now and bring it to the table. That's liquid right here. So when they're talking about liquid cash, you hear them talking about liquidity, that's instant settlement right now. Not promised you for next week, 2 weeks, borrowed right now. Money. Not mañana, right now. You understand? So when you hear liquidity, when you hear they say, listen, the role of XRP's function, neutral bridge asset, cross-border liquidity, that means it's moving money across border right now. Cross-border, you know what cross-border is? Country to country. Okay? That's what that means. Understand that. So now, take this Canton against XRP. That's not what it is. Let's keep it going. All right? If y'all just tuned in, it's Dcryptofan. Well, all we do is talk crypto and make it easy for you to learn. No hype, no cap. I'm not telling you to go buy XRP, I'm telling you to buy Canton. I'm just explaining to you what the differences are. So when people are telling you to choose one or there's going to be one, no. They work hand in hand. Let's keep it going. The single atomic settlement on Canton compliant, the liquidity corridors of XRP ledger. Okay? Listen, Canton's compliant. Okay? The liquidity corridors. Okay? So basically saying, yo, when they say compliant, meaning that institutions and banks, they're compliant with them, meaning that they're doing it the way they want it to do. They're saying the liquidity corridor, meaning that, listen, we can get this monies and move it on the liquidity, meaning that Canton has the liquidity, it's private. They can move the corridors to go ahead and drop that thing on XRP ledger. Understand? And they moving the money. Listen, the XRP ledger, they are distinct layer in institutional crypto stack. Canton Network, private crypto ledger for atomic settlement. The Canton Network launched 2023 by Enterprise Blockchain firm digital asset. It's not a consumer-facing payment rail. Listen, Canton Digital is not a consumer face. So basically, it's not for me and you. It's only for banks and institutions. Okay, same thing like XRP. Yes, banks and institutions. But remember, we can buy XRP and send it. So two different things now. You can still use XRP. It's two different things. Remember, if you live in another country, you take XRP, you send it. You send, let's say you buy right now, you buy $10,000 XRP. You send it to You send it to anybody wherever you want in the country. It's automatically, when they cash out the XRP, you send it to them, they'll get it to 3-5 seconds. It cashes out to whatever that country has. If you want to cash out a USDT, go ahead. That's what it is. In 3-5 seconds. It's different. Okay, so XRP still. So let's keep it going. So Canton Network launched 2023 by enterprise blockchain firm Digital Assets, not consumer-facing payment rail. Its network was designed specifically to regulate financial institutions looking to leverage blockchain while requiring absolute privacy. Okay? Its primary engine is DAML smart contract language, which allows financial institutions to synchronize data across disparate private blockchains without exposing sensitive trade details to the public. Listen again. Listen again. Does this sound like it's doing what XRP does? Listen again. Let's rewind this, man. All right, let's do this. Its primary engine is DAML smart contract language, which allows financial institutions to synchronize data across disparate private blockchains without exposing sensitive trade details to the public. All right. Canton's core utility is tokenization of real-world assets. In the pilot involving major players like Goldman Sachs and BY Mellon and Canton, this demonstrates the ability to execute atomic settlement swapping tokenization U.S. treasuries for cash equities. XRP does not do tokenization. Y'all know that, right? You know XRP does not do tokenization. Now, you could do some tokenization and move after you tokenize it, you can move that on XRP ledger, but XRP does not do tokenization. Ondo just moved 185 million of treasuries, all right, onto XRP ledger to move it. So understand, it's two different things now. All right? After you tokenize it, yeah, come over to XRP, put it on the ledger, let's move that baby for you. It's two different things now. All right, so understand. All right? XRP does not do tokenization. So cut it out when it's saying Canton or XRP. Two different things. Let's keep it going. Canton's core utility is tokenized real-world assets in pilot involving majors, players like Goldman Sachs, BY Mellon. You know BY Mellon, the oldest bank. What they say? The bank was what? What they say? 1734? Old bank, man. Old bank, 1734, 1774. That's what, no. So Canton demonstrated the ability to execute atomic settlement, swapping tokenized U.S. treasuries for cash equivalent stimulously. All right, look at this. They eliminated settlement risk by matching collateral mobility with precision legacy systems cannot match. I'm telling you that legacy system, but the problem is with legacy systems been around since the 70s. They trust when things don't break down. So when you bring that new innovation for banks and institutions, they get scared. They trust that legacy system because, you know, that's what it is. So listen, so Canton's acts as a global, this crazy how we call it the synchronizer for these records. Unlike XRP, it does not primarily seek for universal bridge currency. Listen, Canton acts as a global synthesizer for records for these, right? Unlike XRP, it does not, right, predicamenty seek universal bridge currency. It seeks to be verified, vaulted where the asset lives. Okay? XRP, crypto native liquidity bridge Canton cannot be. Listen. XRP's native liquidity bridge Canton cannot be. While Canton secures the asset, XRP moves the value. Once again, while Canton secures the asset, XRP moves the value. The XRP ledger, XRPL, was designed with Pacific friction point global financial in mind, right? The dormant capital trapped in pre-fund non-vastal accounts. XRP acts as a neutral bridge assets, allowing banks to swap fiat currency in seconds without holding reserves in every target market. Okay? This is what I'm telling you. All right? So the misconception that Canton replaces XRP ignores the difference between settlement logic and liquidity provision. All right, this is Yahoo Finance. It's not Dcryptofan, but we already know what the use case is, so we already knew they do different things because we just talked about it on the chat. A private ledger can record and change ownership instantaneously, but does not provide deep neutral market liquidity. So I said it doesn't bring neutral market liquidity required to bridge volatile fiat currency globally. All right. Ripple has deployed billions in sentiment XRP roles, connectors between banking world and crypto economy. For the DTCC, utilize Canton for ledger synchronization does not negate that it needs mechanisms to move the value into out those synchronized ledgers. All right. So just want to let y'all know that. So when y'all talking about Canton now and XRP, two different things. Now XRP gonna move that value, that tokenization for Canton, that tokenization for Ondo. Yeah. Oh yeah. So please, when you're doing, don't put some respect on XRP's name. All right? We not hating on Canton, but y'all gotta stop that now. Everybody, it's always like everything's like Solana XRP. They finally stopped that Solana XRP stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy how it's crazy how they pair these coins and make them like they go against each other. Okay? So let's keep it going. Canton, once again, Canton is tokenized RWAs. All right? So remember that now. Wait 1 second, let me keep it going here. And then I want to get into this article that Tammy Lynn sent me on Twitter. And you know, when she sent me on Twitter then I'll go look it up. Let me tell you, man, Tammy Lynn sent me a lot today. A lot. So let's get in there. Just tune in, Dcryptofan. So we just talked about Canton and XRP. So now I hope everybody understands what's the differences of what Canton does and what XRP does. It's funny that it's funny because we literally looked up Canton the other day because it came up on the chat, and everybody's actually it's been coming up a lot on the chat. So I just want to get into that when people are talking about Canton replacing XRP. Remember, they do two different jobs. It's crazy when people and I thought that, you know, we got to a place where crypto, because when I first got in crypto, oh my God, there was only could be one. They're like Bitcoin or XRP. You're like, what? They do two different things. It's like saying the engine or the transmission. Which one? Well, you need both, bro. You need both. Yeah, and this is exactly what I'm saying. They'll be like Chainlink or Ondo. What? They work together. Chainlink or HBAR. They work together. What do you talk? Like they'll say wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you won't know that they're saying this wild stuff because you're like, oh my God, I gotta pick one. And then what people will usually do, they'll take their money from that coin that hasn't been moving that they're bored of, and they hear about the new hottest coin. Like they'll take some XLM that they've been bored. Like, man, my XLM ain't been moving in years, man. And there's this new hot coin named Canton. So they'll sell their XLM, right? Put it all in the Canton, and then act like, because somebody said, oh yeah, Canton was coming out to take XLM out. And they do two different things. So make sure when you jump in from coin to coin, which I never do, you know what I'm saying? If you're hodling, I'm not talking about if you're a trader and you're taking money, you're flipping it, but you jump in coin to coin, make sure you don't get caught up in social media and when they're talking about, oh, Canton is coming for XRP. It was very wild when that came up in my chat. I'm like, what? Because, you know, when I saw that in my chat, I was like, oh. I said, you know what, I got to talk about it. When my homeboys are talking about it, it's like, when people in my chat, in my personal chat is like, oh, XRP might be in trouble. How? How? There's no other coin that does what XRP does. None. And you're talking about a coin that's been for 12 years through lawsuits. And understand, two different things, two different jobs. All right, so Canton is built for private institutional ledgers, tokenized U.S. treasuries, regulated RWA custody, atomic settlements between institutions, privacy, first, architect. They're all about privacy between banks, not for regular people like me and you, for banks and institutions. Okay? Think of Canton like this: a vault that tokenizes assets live. That's what that does. XRP does not do tokenization. It does not. Understand that. XRP moves value. When they say value, they mean money and after you tokenize those assets, right? They put an XRP ledger to settle that and move that because they want that liquidity. When you buy that, when you get XRP, you get that liquidity, instant settlement. I told y'all what liquidity is. It's money today. That when you hear liquidity, once again, that's liquid money, liquid cash. It's digital, and they want to settle that thing out, and you can settle it just like that. You know why? Because liquidity. That means that money is there. So people have to wait for you. Talking about, yeah, I'm waiting for the money coming in 2-3 days. Oh, I'm coming. Oh, you know, my brother Sam, my sisters bring me. No, man, it's right here. It's liquidity. It's right now. That's when you hear that word liquidity, that's what they're talking about. Money right now. Okay, just want to make sure you understand that. Let's keep it going. The vault records ownership, security, and privately. Does not focus on being a global bridge currency. Okay? Two different things. XRP built cross-border liquidity. Two different things. Eliminate pre-funding. Moving value of currency. Two different. See what XRP does? All right, so let's keep it going. Remember, XRP, high-speed liquidity. So basically, let me give you an example. Think about Canton is a train station, right? And Canton's a train station for institutions and for banks. It tokenizes the institutions, and it's a vault. All that tokenization stays in that institution. But now that has to move cross-border. So think about XRP being a train, stopping at the vault, picking it up, and moving it across the border. You understand? Just think of it like that. That's how Canton works. And that's how XRP Ledger would work with Canton. Understand? That's what I'm talking about. So this misconception that Canton's going to replace XRP, no. They do two different things, two different jobs. All right? Just wanted to get into that. All right? So I hope everybody understands. So we can move on from the Canton thing, right? It's Dcryptofan. All we do is talk crypto, make it easy for you to learn. No hype, no cap. I hope I was able to explain that so we don't have to bring up this Canton thing and thinking that. And I'm not saying that XRP is better than Canton or Canton's better than XRP. I appreciate it. It was not about what's better or which one to buy. Just want you to understand the differences of what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you people are smart enough to know what you want to do. Now you know what they both do. Two different informations. And let me tell you, I like Canton's utility because I'm pretty sure those banks want to keep that information to themselves because you're talking about trade information. That's sensitive information. So if you have a compliant token that's doing tokenization to that effect, that's crazy. Yeah, you heard about it. Did you guys hear about something about Gary Gensler apologizing, saying that he was wrong about XRP? Let me tell you something. After you sue me for $200 million and I win, I don't want to hear you talking about you sorry. That ain't gonna work for me. Oh, my bad. I mean, hey, what's going on? Bo's night now. What's going on, Crypto Gang Gang? I'm telling you right now, you ain't gonna sue me, and I got to spend $200 million in lawyers, and then tell me after that you apologize. I'm telling you right now, Gensler, I know Gensler ain't crazy. Garland House recounts White House apology during Sydney XRP conference. Speculation grows that Gensler admitted being wrong. Ripple CEO lawsuit concluded last year after a lengthy battle. Ripple CEO told attendees at a just concluded XRP Australia Sydney 2026 conference that a senior U.S. official approached him at the White House with an unexpected remark. According to clips from the event shared by X, the official said, "Sorry, I was wrong, and you guys have done an incredible job." The statement quietly fueled speculation across the XRP community. Several participants at the Sydney conference believe Garland House referred to the former SEC chair Gensler, the led security SEC commission during the lawsuit against Ripple over XRP sales. However, circulation video clip cuts off for Gensler and Garland House identifies the individual as the result. Official confirmation links committee directly to Gensler. That's crazy. That would be wild. Gensler ain't gonna say that he made the mistake. I know that's wild. Yeah, that would be wild. He ain't make no mistake. That man was in on the tape. So let's get into this, man. Tammy Lynn sent me this right here. Mizzle, appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. DTCC fits Disposory Treasury Cleaning Corporation processes quadrillions annually in tokenized treasuries. We got to get into this, man. I tell you, Tammy Lynn was on fire today, boy. She was sending me so much information. It was wild. And a lot of good stuff. I'm like, man, all this good news. I'm gonna fit all this in that little time and explain it. And the thing is that it's easy for for the seasoned vets to come and just look at it and I could put it out there and you guys would know it, but it's just basically breaking it down. And let me tell you, Flair, hey Tammy Lynn, let me tell you, Flair and your boy Hugo Fillon, the CEO of Flair, boy, he talking a whole lot, boy. Your boy Hugo from Flair CEO, he's talking about that he thinks it's gonna be $5 billion. He's gonna have $5 billion in the vault for XRP by the middle of 2026. Basically saying he's gonna be minting and yielding XRP. And it's crazy. Another thing in my chat, my homeboys were talking about Flair, and my homeboy's like, he got Flair. I'm like, bro, he said he got like 12,000 Flair. I was like, bro, do you know what you're holding? I don't think he knew about Flair. I was like, bro, you know what Flair is doing right now? I had to break him down. So let's get into this. Also, Flair CEO, we can get to 5 billion XRP by the middle of 2026. This is what Flair CEO is saying. Hugo Fillon, okay, had said genuinely, I think we could go get up to 5 billion by the middle of 2026. An example of target supporting ongoing partnerships with technical protocols designed simply staking and boosting adoption. Flair is actively building tools to attract major XRP holders to make participation seamlessly, signaling a period of significant growth. I told you about the wallet, Xaman wallet, how now they got it at a push of a button that you could do yields. I want to see what other wallets they're going to hit, but they're talking $5 billion in yielding. That's very strong. That's a strong claim right there. Finan explains the key development XM major ledger wallet, which enables smart accounts and accounts follow users to stake directly from XRP ledger into Fair Firelight system. Users will not need to interact with a bridge transaction seamlessly through Flair. Man, we talked about that. Let me tell you, man, there's a lot of news. I know, looking at the prices, man, I know it gets a little. I know what you're thinking, like, wait a second, but the price is not moving. I get it, but let me tell you, there's a lot going on. A lot going on. Just want to, but let's get into this. This one's wild. So Tammy Lynn sent me this. Breaking. DTCC officially approves Ripple Prime to the NSCC direct. All right, now understand, Ripple Prime Remember, that's the brokerage. All right. So let's say Ripple Prime has added a national security clearing corporation to the NSCC partnership directly. All right. Effective March 2nd. All right. DTC pressures processes trillions of dollars in the U.S. securities. Let's keep it going. So, shit here. So, let's see. So this means Hidden Road is being added to the clearing participants of the NSCC directly. Okay, they can now clear treasuries through the NSCC. They can officially, all right, plug into the U.S. post-trading infrastructure. They can process institutional securities and trades and recognize within the DCC ecosystem. Okay, the DCC approves Ripple Prime to NSCC directory. Hidden Road partners with CVC. As now they could do brokerage live. Okay, this is different now. This is different. Okay, do not sleep on this. This is wild, man. XRP does not stop, man. XRP does not stop. I'm telling you that right now. Wait 1 second here. Wait 1 second. Wait a second. Wait 1 second, y'all. If y'all just tuned in Dcryptofan, I just wanted to get this. I just wanted to get this Prime. So Ripple Prime prepares to move post-trade volume into XRP-L. Okay, Ripple's ambition bridge traditional finance DeFi reached a major milestone. Okay, Ripple newly acquired prime brokerage arm Hidden Road went live on DTC, National Security Clearing Operations, all right, the NSCC, directly earlier today. The move has laid the groundwork to move massive institutional post-trade volume onto XRP Ledger. Do not sleep on this. The March 2 listing plugs infrastructures of controversial San Francisco-based enterprise blockchain company directly into the Wall Street's legacy clearance system. Not sleep on XRP. The firm, which now operates at Ripple Prime, is now positioned to leverage speed, cost efficiency of XRP-L into the revolution traditional finance institutions. All right. The depository trust and clearing corporations DTCC is a limited backbone of the U.S. financial market. The process quadrillions of dollars of security transactions annually. They didn't say trillions, they say quadrillions. God damn. This is wow. Okay. As a report by you today, Ripple sent shockwaves through the industry by announcing its intent acquiring Hidden Road, which they already bought that for $1.25 billion. The Hidden Road was already clearing $3 trillion annually across markets and 300 institutional clients. Ripple speculatively stated acquiring allowed Hidden Road migrate post-trade activities onto XRPL. So basically, once Ripple bought them, that $3 trillion, they're like, yo, don't worry about that. We're going to put that through XRPL. Do not sleep. The acquiring officially wrapped up in late October. You remember when I reported that to y'all? It became the first crypto company to be owned and operated globally. Multi-asset prime brokerage Hidden Road rebranded to Ripple Prime. So basically, that Hidden Road, they changed the name to Ripple Prime. Okay? The collaboration also is heavily emphasized that Ripple RLUSD stablecoin. Remember, RLUSD is what they're using as the collateral. Do not sleep on that. So listen, so the collaboration also places a heavy emphasis on Ripple RLUSD stablecoin. Ripple Prime began activity using RLUSD as collateral for various prime brokerage products. See what I'm telling y'all? The crypto fan know what he's talking about now. Do not sleep on it now. The crypto fan knows what he's talking about. All right, so that's what that is. You could find that article on you today. Tammy Lynn actually sent it to me the Twitter. So Tammy Lynn will send me the because Twitter he gets the news first. So when Tammy sends it to me, then I'll go do my digging, my research to make sure that I got the information to match. And today was a lot of stuff she sent me. So we talked about Canton. I wanted to get on that Ripple Prime because now you're talking about them owning a brokerage. They're owning them. You're talking about XRP, and you're talking about David Schwartz on the Board of Governors, Brad Garnerhouse, Board of Governors. They're helping decisions on how to brokerage these people's monies and use XRP Ledger. This is different, okay? Very, very different, okay? So I want to make sure that ladies and gentlemen, you're aware of what's going down when you're seeing this information. So I just want to understand when you're talking about the DTCC moving 3.7 quadrillion with a Q. It's crazy. This is different. This is different type of talk, y'all. This different type of talk. And also, let's get into this. Wait a second here. This Dcryptofan, if you just tuned in, we talked about Canton, and I'll go over Canton one more time. But yeah, just want to go over that. And then Tammy Lynn also send me about the FedEx. There's a lot of stuff, man. Wait a second. Wait a second. Tammy Lynn sent me about partnership with FedEx and H-Bar, which is wow. So basically, they're talking about the partnership with H-Bar and FedEx because of the supply chain. They're saying basically the network console with supply chain transformation. So shipping giant XRP. Whoa. Shipping giant FedEx Corp announces Friday that it has joined Hedera Council, working alongside other companies to build a governed Hedera distribution ledger network. This is why this is the same reason why I don't sleep on VeChain. This is one of the reasons why I still don't give up on VeChain. Because let me tell you, when you start talking about moving goods, VeChain does it one of the best companies that do it. Well, let's keep it going. So according to the company, the move set FedEx vision is enabling global commerce to operate digital speed rather than relying on traditional paper-based process, supply chain optimism, as long as the key narratives around the promised distribution ledger technology is included in the blockchain technology. So actually, Tammy Lynn sent me this on X, and I actually watched the video. So basically what they were talking about, the FedEx gentleman, he was saying that a lot of this information, they're talking more like information that they could use these blockchain to move that paper. So basically, like if it was something before, he said to move, this is wild. He says to move like certain forms, like certain paper. He says you need like 13 signatures. So basically, like when you're moving from you're moving let's say you're moving let's just say a car, and you have the title for the car. So they're saying you're gonna need like 13 signatures to move it from country to country, or whatever, just to make sure that information is correct. Yeah. So basically that costs and it stops it. But what they're saying is that now with them using Hedera and using a tokenization rail, remember Hedera is a rail, now they'll be able to go ahead and move that information because without those 13 signatures, because you have it on that blockchain and it's verified with all that information. Remember, that information can't be rewritten, can't be copied, and can't be erased. So now that we're talking about that use case with FedEx, which I was like, damn, that's a very, very great use case. Because basically what he's saying is that they're trying to leave from the paper and come to the digital world. I was like, damn. So basically they want to make it to the point where you're able to text that information. And besides, I'm not talking about, remember, Hedera won't move the product. It's the paper. It's the receipt of the paper, the ownership of the paper. That's what it would be moving. Understand? So that's what they're talking about, just as far as paper. According to the company, okay, the move, the FedEx vision is enabling global commerce to operate digital speed rather than relying on traditional paper-based process. Supply chain optimization has long been a key narrative around the promising distribution ledger technology, including blockchain network. Okay, the digital transforms the global supply chain invisible, said Valish Swan, the VP of Chief Digital Infrastructure for FedEx. Once again, Vishal Dalwar, the Executive VP of Chief Digital Information for FedEx Corp, the president of the FedEx Data Works, in statement, as supply chains, this is what Buddy's saying, as supply chains become increasingly digital native, trust data must be shared and verified across many parties without increasing the risk of centralized control. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. Hedera provides a neutral, enterprise-grade trust layer that enables verification at a global scale. And he added, while allowing organized like FedEx to continue building the different capabilities on top of it. Through the council partnership, FedEx will contribute its enterprise towards building open corporation digital infrastructure for global supply as council's members, and FedEx will run network nodes to participate in governance decisions alongside other members. Okay? Do not sleep on H-bar with a bar. That's huge. You're talking about FedEx. FedEx. Okay? Not no backyard garbage. This is FedEx. FedEx brings a deep operational insight into global logistics. Okay? Commerce and perspectives will value the industry's transaction towards digital native supply chains. Hedera Council President Tom Sayler has released, we look forward to working together to advance trust, interoperable data verification, supports collaborations across industries and jurisdictions. Man, okay. Do not sleep. Let me tell you, this tokenization, that's why I mess with Ondo. That's why I mess with H-bar. That's why I mess with Chainlink. These are the coins. Same reason why I mess with my ISO coins. I think together with my ISO coins and these coins, this is what it will be. All right? So you just tune in, Dcryptofan. I know we had a lot of news. We just went over Canton versus XRP. We just went over DTCC and the brokerage. Now we just went over H-bar and FedEx, which is huge. You know what I'm saying? So listen to this. Hedera, let me see. Oh, the Hedera Council, attracted by a number of prominent corporation members. Listen to this. The Hedera Council has attracted a number of prominent corporate members, including Google, IBM, Dell Technologies, LG, Dcryptofan, okay, and Orbitsoft. Okay, Hedera has been down 1% recently in 94, but which is 9 cents, around almost 10 cents. At 7% last week, it remains 83% off its all-time high price, nearly 57 cents is set in 2021. Okay, so just want to get into that because it's a lot of stuff. All right, if you just tune in, it's Dcryptofan, where all we do is talk crypto and make it easy for you to learn. No hype, no cap. So tonight, just want to go over this one more time. So we were talking about, because on the chat, Canton's been coming up a lot. So I wanted to go ahead and, we talked about it last week. We looked up what Canton does. And then following, my homeboys, they was talking about Canton in the chat that we have. And then somebody was said that Canton XRP might be in trouble. And I was like, damn, that's crazy, because I just read also, we read that article. Lucky I had a copy of it. We had that article from Friday. Thank you, Crypto Badge. Appreciate the love, man. So we had the article up because we just looked up Canton, because we went digging in the crates, and I really want to know what it did, what it does. Sorry, and I was very impressed. I don't know if the chat was impressed, but I was impressed by what Canton does. We looked it up. So let me get into what Canton does for people who don't know what Canton does. It does security, okay, between companies and banks. So basically, the information of trades are basically private. Let me get into this article because it was a dope article. I wanted to get into it, and the timing of it was crazy. And I'm like, that's wild that this Canton is getting so popular that people are like, oh, Canton's coming for XRP when they do two different things. So let's get into this article. You can find this, and then good thing, this article was actually on Yahoo Finance. Canton Crypto Network versus XRP, the breakdown, DTC infrastructure and liquidity needs. All right, the heated debate has appeared across crypto industry. Will Canton onboard the institutions, or will it be XRP? So basically what they're saying when they say onboard, meaning like, would institutions pick Canton or XRP? This is the narrative that's out there, okay? But people understand it's two different things. The heated debate has erupted over whether Canton Network quietly positioned itself to replace XRP as likely an onboarder for institutions in crypto technology. All right. The DTCC processing quadrillions of value annually. The market suddenly is debating the decision to pivot into real world assets, tokenizing with help of Canton. Okay. Remember, Canton does tokenization. XRP does not do tokenization. Okay. This binary view is flawed. Okay, they're talking about this view that XRP and Canton are against each other. This is Yahoo Finance saying this. Canton Network builds a private rail for compliance, while XRP provides liquidity. Now, liquidity is money, honey. That's what XRP provides. Instant liquidity, instant settlement. That's what they're talking about. All right. So once again, this thought, they're doing this thought that XRP and Canton, that Canton's coming to replace XRP. Yahoo says this binary view is flawed. Canton Network builds a private rail for compliance. All right? XRP provides liquidity that moves between them. The infrastructure in Canton was designed for privacy, preserving tokenization of real-world assets like U.S. Treasuries, ensuring the regulatory compliance on private ledger. Private. This is like privacy, okay? This is like you see y'all saying the Zcash, that's the privacy this is privacy between the banks. Zcash is privacy between people, all right? The role XRP function as neutral bridge assets across, and guess what? Zcash ain't compliant or regulated. Let's start there. The role where XRP's function as a neutral bridge asset across border liquidity, solving pre-funding problems rather than custody problems. The signal atomic settlement of Canton compliant liquidity corridors of XRP ledger. Okay? Just want to say that. Just want people, so once again, just in case for that narrative that people think that it can only be one coin. It's either coin or versus XRP and Canton, okay? Two different things. All right? Canton's competing with XRP it's not replacing it. They do two different jobs. Please remember that. All right? But just wanted to get in that, man. I know we had a lot to go on. We talked about Flare, Flare Network on bridging. Fred's Flare CEO says by 2026, they're going to onboard $5 billion of XRP. That's wild, ain't it? Yeah. So they can get yields. This is what they're talking about. So it's a lot of news for a Monday. I wanted to get into that because there's a lot of stuff. Actually, Tammy Lynn sent me the majority of this. So it's a lot of stuff we had to hit, but I really wanted to hit that Canton especially when everybody on my personal chat was talking about that. And please don't forget about looking up that Ondo action. I didn't give a chance to do that rail, but I think that's that Binance that Ondo did with Binance, where they're going ahead and they're tokenizing stocks. That's different. Do not sleep on that. Do not. Let me see here. Tokenized stock market surpasses $1 billion milestone. The total value of tokenized stocks has officially crossed $1 billion market, highlighting accelerating demand for on-chain exposure to traditional equities. According to RWA data, okay, the sector has rapidly growth over the past year. The total value expanded sharply early 2026. That's nothing when you're talking about BlackRock, talking about tokenizing all their stocks. That's what BlackRock's saying. The next 12 months, from next 3 months to 12 months, they're tokenizing all their paper. This is what I'm telling you. This is crazy. Ondo Finance currently dominates the tokenized stock landscape with approximately $605 million of total value. Okay? This is what they're talking about. The platform has positioned itself as a clear market leader, accounting for more than half of the entire sector capitalization. Following Ondo, XStart ranking second with over 232 million of tokenized assets. The stock value reinforces the role of one primary competitor as the fastest growing segment. The rise of tokenized stocks reflects broader momentum in real-world assets, RWA narrative. Investors are increasingly seeking blockchain-based access, traditional finance institutions. All right? You hear what they're saying? Ondo currently dominates the tokenized stock landscape with approximately 605 million. Remember, they're saying now the tokenized stock market surpassed $1 billion. They're saying Ondo has 605 million of that. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. That's why. All right. Don't sleep on Ondo. That's why I became a fan and started buying them since October 5th. And I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just telling you what's going on. Remember, I'm just telling y'all the information. But that Binance move, I want to get over that. Look at this. Check this. And this, I need to do an episode on this because I told you about Binance. I said Ondo tokenizing $185 million of treasuries onto XRP Ledger. But check this out. Binance expands beyond crypto, adds fully collateralized tokenized U.S. equities via Ondo. The Binance lists tokenized U.S. stocks and Binance Alpha, non-users worldwide access. So basically, Binance is allowing users to go ahead and buy tokenized stocks on their platform. This gets crazy now. This is what I'm talking about. This gets crazy. So Ondo Finance expands research to Binance as fully backed digital version of U.S. equities. Binance returns to tokenized stock traditions after 2021 pause on a new global rollout. Binance has partnered with Ondo. Just remember now, I just reported to y'all about IBIT, BlackRock. Go look at that post I did. BlackRock and Ondo. Right? So Binance partnered with Ondo Finance to list tokenized U.S. stocks on its platform. The rollout on Alpha started today. That was Friday. The exchange now offers digital version of major U.S. equities ETFs. The moves marks Binance return to tokenized stocks tradition. But you got to listen to the companies that they're tokenizing. You got to listen to the. You got my boy in here. What's going on? Got my boy Roots in the building. I know this gentleman since I was 14, and he probably was 13. I think about 14 years old. He could tell you. When I tell you about the things I'm talking about, and something he'll tell you, most things I tell you about, there's no cap in none of the stuff I said. He's seen a lot of it. So listen to this. So Ondo, right? That's why I'm telling you, do not sleep on Ondo. Do not sleep on Ondo. And remember, How's Ondo going to get this information? How's Ondo going to get this information on these stocks, on these prices of these stocks, the prices of these equities? Chainlink. Do not sleep on Chainlink now. See what I'm trying to tell you? Ondo, remember now, this is what I'm telling you. When they be trying to tell you pick between one, there's no picking between one. They'll be like Ondo or Chainlink. No. Ondo and Chainlink work together. That data that tells you the price, remember, Ondo tokenizes it. It doesn't know the price. All it does is take that paper. It's just taking that stock, that digital paper, making it digital. But as far as that information for that price, that real world data, for that price of what the value of, that's Chainlink giving that data. Let's keep it going. So listen, Binance is bringing these coins. Remember, this is a crypto exchange. Binance is the biggest crypto exchange in the world. Now you're talking about bringing stocks to a crypto exchange? Let's get this, man. So 10 tokenized products are now live on Binance Alpha. This includes Apple, Google, Tesla, NVIDIA, QQ ETFs. Okay? So now non-US users, people that are not in the US, can now buy stocks off Binance. So now before you had people, you bringing people from traditional stocks to crypto. Now you got, it's crazy. Now you bring crypto to traditional stocks. Isn't that wild? Isn't wild how that thing turned around? Isn't it crazy how that thing just did a 180? Think about this, right? Think about this. Robinhood, they bought crypto, right, to bring their stockholders, to give them some exposure to crypto. But I've never heard of exchange giving exposure to stocks. That's crazy. And now you're using Ondo to tokenize it. Do not sleep on it. And you're probably thinking, why has Ondo not moved? Because you're going to have to tokenize a whole lot. You got to tokenize more over $1 billion. You got to remember, they got trillions of dollars tokenized over there. So you understand, when you're talking about stocks and NASDAQ and Dow Jones, you're talking about over $100 trillion. When you're talking about real estate and you're talking about tokenizing real estate, you're talking about bringing on $300 trillion. So a billy doesn't move it when you're talking about trilly. When you start moving them trillies, when you start talking about the trilly, I don't know, I just made that up, trilly. I never said that before, but I like trilly. I think we're gonna keep that. When you start talking about the trillies, not the billies, I think we're gonna keep trillies. When you're talking about the trillies, this is different now. Y'all gotta follow me what Ondo's doing. Okay? And I'm not telling y'all to go buy Ondo. I'm just trying to show you, when people think that crypto is some type of meme coin, I'm talking about utility. I'm trying to show you that crypto is here to stay. This is utility. Okay, let's keep it going. What people don't understand what utility is, that means what it does. What's the actual, what it brings to the table. So when you hear people say utility, or they see what the protocol is, that's what they're talking about. What the hell does it do? All right, so let's keep it going. 10 tokenized products are now live on Binance Alpha. This includes Apple, Google, Tesla, NVIDIA, QQ ETF. So that's basically like going on Binance and saying, yo, I'm going to go buy me some Apple. And you're buying a tokenized version of it, which Ondo tokenized. So basically, when you go in there, it'll be like Tesla, ON, Google, ON, NVIDIA, ON. The ON stands for an Ondo. Ondo. All right? So that's what it is. Let's keep it going. So users now can access these assets directly through the platform. As a result, they can gain exposure without opening traditional brokerage accounts. The tokenized risk represents a real shares of held in custody. Each token remains fully collateralized underlying stock. Therefore, the user trades traditional assets backed by actual securities. Binance excludes U.S. residents from accessing the new listing. So listen, if you're in the U.S., you can't use that. Like I said, listen, Binance is the biggest exchange globally. Okay? So basically, they're saying, like, if you're not a U.S. citizen, they're going to allow you the U.S. citizen. If you're outside the U.S., let me say the U.S. citizen. If you're outside of the U.S., they're basically saying, listen, we're going to allow you to buy traditional stocks. That's a game changer. That's a game changer. That's different. And you're talking about Ondo is taking that paper and tokenizing it. Let's keep it going. I think this is important information. I don't know what y'all do not sleep. This tokenization, and for y'all, ladies and gentlemen, you might be understand why we talking about tokenization. BlackRock saying they're going to tokenize their whole portfolio. They have over $11 trillion over there. They worth 16 trillion. They got 11 trillion over there. 11 trillion. Then you're talking about JP Morgan Chase, tokenization. That's what your boy Larry Fink said. The World Economic Forum. You see where they all went to once a year? That was from January 19th to January 23rd. We had all the global big banks. Even the president was out there. Prime ministers was out there. Yeah, your boy Armstrong, Brian Armstrong, was speaking on the panel from Coinbase, right? Brad Garlinghouse from XRP sitting over there. The big banker from France. And guess what they were talking about? Y'all see the episode I dropped? Tokenization. They said the man within 5 seconds said, well, you know what we all here for? We all talking about tokenization. I was like, damn, they ain't waste no time. The World Economic Forum, with all the big banks, they were talking about tokenization. So when I'm talking about this Ondo information, I think you might want to pay attention. I'm going to drop an episode on this. But go watch the last episode I dropped on Ondo and XRP Ledger. Ondo, 185 million in treasuries. It's beginning. Okay? Let's keep it going. So Binance Alpha expands access to traditional markets. Binance positions to launch as part of a broader product expansion strategy to exchange aims to blend digital assets trading with traditional finance. Just like I told you, they want to say, yo, we're going to give you crypto access, which they've already been, but we're also going to give you access to stocks, American stocks. So remember, if you got somebody that's in England, somebody that's in Europe, somebody that's in Australia, they want to go ahead and get traditional stocks. Now, Ondo done went and tokenized it. Once again, crypto technology. When they talk about crypto, some scheme or some Ponzi scheme, once again, Google will show you the utility. It's tokenizing that digital asset. So now it's making that digital paper. They're taking that stock, making it digital, making that paper now that they can own it. Now it's tokenized. And then now, Chainlink is going to give the data daily of what the price of it is. This is real. This is real stuff now. This technology. They're trying to move from paper to digital. It's just like, think about it just like this. There was a time when everybody used to write mail. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. We got Donnie Lynn in the building. What's going on? Just remember there was a time when, you know, when you remember when you was in the 5th grade, 6th grade, you used to write the love letters? Remember you used to write the love letter to leave the box, say yes or say no? Remember I used to rub all the love letters? Them kids, they don't do that no more. They text. They text. Appreciate the love, risk taker. They text. That's what they do. They text. So now, just imagine you're taking your digital assets, the paper. Remember the stock. It's just the paper that you own that stock that says that Dcryptofan owns that stock. This Apple, I own 10 shares of Apple, 20 shares of Apple. It's digital. And what it says Apple ON. The ON stands for Ondo. Ondo tokenized that Apple stock. Chainlink is giving the data to tell me what that stock is worth at every second. Now it's digital. So now when I want to sell it, I ain't got to wait 3-4 days for a settlement, this and that. Nah, because it's all there digital. Everything is in the mix. I don't need no middleman. Send, email, text. Just like you, remember I used to write the letter to the girl or the guy in the back, and now they texted that quick. That's how quick the settlement's gonna come when you're selling your share, your stock. Understand? It's all about the speed. Because when they have that now, so you understand when you go to an exchange, it takes 3-4 days sometimes to settle that money. I told y'all when I went to go buy Circle, and it came out for $69, shot up to like 278. I went to go move that money. It took me 3-4 days to settle that money. Now, when it's tokenized, and now you could use, let's say, XRP, RLUSD as collateral. Now imagine, this is how crazy it is. So you have Binance. Binance is using XRP ledger, RLUSD, stablecoin. So what happens is, watch the math of how this happens. Now let's say, traditionally when you go buy a stock, you see I was telling you I was trying to buy that stock of Circle. So let's say I take $10,000 from my bank account, my checking account. I want to go ahead and move it onto Charles Schwab. That's going to take 3, 4, 4 days to settle. Now I can go buy, because they want to make sure that that $10,000 has cleared and it's in there. But now when I buy RLUSD, it's already, RLUSD is the collateral. Remember, RLUSD is Ripple stablecoin. I buy it, boom, the collateral. Now it's already instant. Remember, XRP, remember we talked about liquidity? What is liquidity, y'all? Money right now. So once you buy the XRP ledger, that's liquidity. So now you take it, you move on XRP ledger. What moves the money on XRP ledger once it gets on the ledger? XRP. XRP moves the money. FX, foreign exchange. Foreign exchange, 3-5 seconds, spits that baby out. So now it spits it out. You have that money there to buy that stock. That stock now has been tokenized by Ondo. So now you can buy it in that short time. Instead of having to wait that 3-4 days that I did, that money gets liquidity. RLUSD becomes the collateral, moves it on the ledger, moves 3, 4, 5 seconds. Now you can buy that tokenization coin right there. Remember, you have the digital asset that has the digital imprint that says it's there. So now when you buy it, you can purchase it, because now the money liquidity is moved there. Everything's instantaneous, simultaneously. Do you guys get it? Was that too fast? Was that too fast for y'all? I don't know. The crypto fans, boy, I'm feeling hot today, boy. I'm feeling. What y'all think? That was pretty good, huh? You get it, huh? So now, these banks, these institutions, and guess what now? What's the one thing about crypto that's different than banks? The banks, institutions, remember, they open 9 to 5 to 4:30. What is crypto, y'all? What time is crypto close? What time does exchange close? We like quick stop, baby. We 24/7. Thank you. Thank you, Tar Heel. Thank you. Y'all following me. That's why my chat is following me. Y'all know what time it is. It's 24/7. James Davidson dropped Waffle House in his baby. Quick Stop in his baby. 7-Eleven in his baby. 24/7. My people know what's going on. So that means now you can buy stocks like you buy crypto. Now, if you own these, if you're an institution, wouldn't you love that? That people could buy it all time? You understand? They ain't doing it for a reason. The money settlement, they're saving. Now they can come in and out of stocks. And guess what? Now you buying on the weekends. You buying at 3 a.m. live. Y'all get it? Y'all get it? You see why this is the importance of this? You connecting the dots? It's Dcryptofan. Make sure you guys share this stuff now. And if you learn something, hit a share, hit a like. I know y'all learned something. I know that one was deep. Yeah, I know y'all learned something. Luda one, appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the gift, sir. So let's keep it going. Now, this is better than somebody telling you to buy something. Anybody could sit on YouTube, on whatever, any platform, and just tell you to buy. But it's better when you understand exactly what it does. Okay? I hate somebody just tell me buy it. Just buy it. You don't even know what to sell it. You don't even know what it's worth. You don't know the value. Unless you know what it actually does, the use case, the partnerships, the co-founders, the history, the compliance, the circulating supply. When you know that, then you could choose if I want to buy that. So let's get into this. And I'm not telling you to go buy Ondo. But I'm just trying to tell you, you can't tell me that crypto is a meme coin. You can't tell me crypto is going somewhere. This is real stuff. This is real utility. This is something that the world, crypto, certain coins are giving real world problem solving. That's saving them a lot of money. This is making stocks 24/7. You see the importance of this? This is taking digital paper, taking stocks, the old paper, digital now. Real digital. Okay? It's a settlement. It's the liquidity. XR, remember this, the whole thing about XRP is liquidity. It's the money right now. There's no play. Once you get that RLUSD, that's actual cash. That's why they made RLUSD. The way you think they ain't fighting like Circle, they ain't worrying about no yields. They didn't make RLUSD for yields like Circle and Tether and all them for that digital cash. They made RUSD for collateral. That's why Ripple made it for collateral. You want to move this money? We got 10 billion on deck. Buy RLUSD, we'll move that for you. Once you buy that, that money is on deck. So when you take your, say you're buying a American money, or you got a pound, you got a franc. Once you buy that RUSD, that's instant liquidity. Remember what we said, liquidity is a money, honey. So now, see what happens. Remember, when you're trying to move this money on these stocks or move this money on these banks, the problem is that they want to make sure that that money is going to clear. So while they're doing off-chain, they're doing KYC, know your customer, anti-money laundering to make sure that money's not going over 10,000, make sure it's not drug money, dope money, oil money, fake money, all kind of wild money. They don't want that. Okay, so what happens is now when you have this on-chain, like they just went recently with the banks on-chain, they put all that in the system. So now they got the KYC, know your customer. Now they got the anti-money laundering on-chain. Before they had it off-chain. Now they got it on the blockchain. When they say on-chain, that means now it's on blockchain. So now banks say, oh, you got that. This is, oh, you got that. Oh, we mess with you. Because we can't mess with you if you don't know where that money's coming for, because we're going to get violation. We're going to get all type of violations. That's why the banks saying, you think the banks don't want to do it? They would have did it a long time ago. But guess what? They're not going against anti-money laundering laws. There's fees. You get sued billions of dollars when you do that. So now that on-chain and XRP in them, now that they got that out the way, where now they know where the money's coming from, there's no funny business. Oh, now they're ready to do business. It's ready to go time. So now when you talk about stocks and these big stock companies, they're like, oh, there's no more funny business going on. Y'all clean up the act. And y'all know, we know where the business comes from, and that liquidity is real, meaning that when the stock, basically when they sell, like basically, okay, you're Charles Schwab or you're Robinhood, you're selling Apple. You want to make sure that that liquidity, that money comes through. So basically mean that the shareholder that sold that stock gets paid. They want to make sure that there's no funny business. So now once they know, oh, XRP cleared up, oh, this money's coming from Joe Simone, who just bought the stock, is going to Jane Doe, who's selling it, and now XRP is doing a settlement. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. So that's why they're talking about the liquidity. And now, once you have that money, that liquidity, now you can open 24/7 because now you know the money is real. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Root says a lot of arbitrage and trade opportunities are going to be in play in the beginning. Oh, I'm pretty sure they're going to have everything because they're talking about derivatives. They're talking about equities. They're talking about futures. So they're going to open everything. Everything's going to be tokenized. They're opening up the playbook. They don't want that quick settlement. That's what it is. Tar Heel says the cross-border payments that all different types of money can come to several universal. Yep, straight up, 100%. Tar Heel, 100%. Tell you one thing about my chat. My chat knows what they're talking about, 100%. That's one thing I'll tell you. The chat here, they know their stuff. So this just wanted to go into all that, man. Jameson says, then I bought Ondo twice since it's been on the chat. Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, man. I became I became a fan of Ondo. I'm a fan of Chainlink. Those are recent ones that I've been buying. Flare, man, let me tell you, man. I be this close, man, to Flare, because Flare's Flare's doing amazing things, but the right now I'm ISO heavy. You guys know I'm ISO heavy, but my RWA tokens, man, I'm going hard at that RWA, man. And people know RWA, that's real world assets. So that's why I'm moving on to those coins. I already been in H bar for 3 years, actually a little bit longer. But and XDC, I've been in. My homeboy put me on to XDC. My homeboy Derek, he put me on there to XDC about 3 years ago. But yeah, but Chainlink and Solano, I've been copping up Solano. But yeah, man, I've always been down with. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been had my XRP, been had my XRP, been had my XLM, been had my ADA. I do not sleep on those bags. I'm not saying those are my real bags. You know what I'm saying? Those my Ethereum, those are my big real bags. Those yeah. Of course my XRP is my heaviest. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, those other ones are still my big bags. Well, at least what I call my big bags. You know, it's all relative to who you are. I'm pretty sure there's probably some out there that'll look at my bags like, bro, that's what you call a big bag? Calm down. That's not a big bag. To me, it's a big bag to me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. James Jameson, like I said, bro, we can't have them all, man. Can't have them all. There's too many great ones out there. There's too many great ones out there. Can't have them all, man. And Flair's one of those ones that, man, damn, boy, that's, you know, my actually one of my homeboys, one of my good homeboys, he actually says he came on the trade the chat I said that I have my homeboys. He goes, yo, why is influencers always talking about coins they don't own? I said, God damn, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's not the I was like explaining to him, well, it's not that I own Flare. The thing is that when Flare did in 2025, Flare, they did the partnership with XRP July 2025 to start the yield. Then they started the facets. So the thing about it, for me to explain the value of XRP and how XRP is growing into the DeFi world besides just becoming a cross-border payment, I have to explain to you what Flare does. And now with me explaining to you what Flare does as far as the yields and the facets and the firelight, now that makes me have to explain, okay, now Flare, like, just real quick, Flare go ahead, it has facets. Facets go ahead and wraps XRP, it becomes FXRP. Then now it comes and gets minted, it goes into a vault. And once it goes into that vault now, it goes ahead and it gives you yields. But understand this, XRP can never leave the ledger. So what you have is that wrap FXRP is just a receipt that they have that says the ownership of this Flare, which is XRP never leaves the ledger, is just a receipt that says that you own that XRP that's on a ledger, which FX facets wraps becomes the XRP mints in the vault. You get yields. Now they charge fees and all that. So that's what I was just telling you about. But the real reason I was saying that is because my friend was like, then why influencers talk about it? I will not pretend that I own something that I don't. The thing is that I want to be full transparent with y'all. I'm not going to sit here and act like I own Flare when I don't. I still believe it's a great project, but I'm not going to pretend like I own it. If I don't, that would look. I think I just think that's not the way. I think that's sending Flare. I mean, sending false narrative. I just rather be honest with y'all and be like, yo, I don't own Flare, but I think it's great. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. I'm not gonna pretend, man. Y'all grown people. Y'all grown. I'm grown. I don't have to own it to believe it's dope. I think Ferrari's dope. Don't mean what the freak. I don't own it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Boss Buddha, what's going on, bro? What's going on, Crypto Gang? You know what I'm saying? I'm just being 100. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm just being 100. You know what I'm saying? Pick up some under penny right now. Let me say, like, there's a lot of coins. Like, I'm concentrating on my ADA. ADA's back in the top 10. You know what I'm saying? I love my ADA because there's still coins that I feel that, like ADA, I still have a number that I'm trying to reach with ADA. And now that it's at that price, I'm like, oh hell no, I gotta gobble that up. You know, say pause. And then XLM, that keeps dropping to a price where I still have convictions on my ISO coins, and I still have numbers that I want to get to on my ISO coins. So it's not, I'm not gonna lose my conviction that I have on those coins. I still believe in XRP. I still believe cold-heartedly in XLM. I still cold-heartedly still believe in ADA. You know what I'm saying? I still believe in Ethereum. So, and I just started getting Solana also. So it's like, when you believe in these coins, like I picked out these coins because of the circulating supply. I picked out the coins because the narrative that's around them. I picked them out because the price ROI. So I did what I felt. I researched my coins very well. So the thing is that I still feel committed to the same coins, the same exact way, to the same level. You know what I'm saying? So it's like jump on Flare, or do I keep go ahead and going on my Ondo and going on my chain link and going on Solana that I added? I already added that to a portfolio that's already heavy. You know what I'm saying? I feel too many coins. I don't want to add any more coins. First of all, it's a lot to watch for. And then the things that I want my ROI on the coins that I have. I believe the coins that I picked have a great ROI. Flare is cool with yields. That's super dope because everybody's going to want yields, I think, at one point. But the tokenization of coin, of every stock share, and then you're talking about they're sharing $1 billion. They own 60% of it. You got BlackRock backing them. So for me personally, I looked at it, I'm like, you know what? I feel there's a better ROI on that. Then when I look at H bar, I'm looking at circulating supply. I'm looking at all that. So all that comes into play when I'm looking at my coins. But it doesn't mean that Flare might not outpass all of them. That does not mean that. I'm just telling you. I'm just going. I don't want y'all to think that I don't think that Flare is as good as. It's not about that. It's about my conviction in the coins that I've been studying for a long time. I made a commitment to those coins, and I love those coins. So it's like that, you know. And that's what it is. Just want to say that. You know, say I don't want nobody to think. I just want to be transparent. What I own, I tell y'all. And if I don't tell y'all the price of what I own, it's because I own a whole lot of it. We get to hack numbers. When we start getting to hack numbers, I don't mention it. when it's when it's like, you know, like low ZBEC numbers, like I'm at 1.7, 1.8, about to go to ZBEC about 1.8. Yeah, I don't mind talking about that. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't never gonna hear me bringing my XRP bag. If y'all been around me, y'all know it's like, damn, certain bags he don't talk about. Those are hack level bags. I don't mind talking about the Poquito, but you know, if you guys notice, I'll be like, yeah, man, I just got to 215 210 chain link. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind saying that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Or like, ooh, I just got to what 12 Solanos. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I'm cool with those type of numbers. But believe me, if I had 100 Solano, I would not say that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 100 Solano, because that will only be like $8,000. You know what I'm saying? That maybe, yeah, maybe, yeah. You know what I'm saying? But 1,000 Solano, no. No. So certain bags I don't mind telling you because I'm just growing them. I'm just getting into them. I don't mind sharing that. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be careful. I tell you, I got hacked for 54,000. So I'm always going to be kind of, you know. But at the same time, I want to show y'all how I'm quietly building too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't happen overnight. So, you know, so the reason why I share that stuff is just to show you. New Zillion, what's going on? New Zillion is in the building. Appreciate that. Let me tell you, New Zillion, I remember talking about XRP in New Zealand with that Swiss with the they have convenience stores out there in New Zealand where you could use XRP to pay at the counter, which is really, really wild. You know what I'm saying? That's super dope. And that's really dope, man. Let me see. Hello, Unc. What's the advice you could give me? Let me see right here. Hello, Unc. Let me see what my boy's saying here. I would speak it. I would say your name, but it's in a language that I don't understand. So I'm gonna say this gentleman here speaks. I don't know if it says Archalovic, but I don't. But here, let's see what you said. Hello, what's your advice you could give me? I'm 20, living in Greece. I would love to start crypto. Nice, 20. Oh man, that's a great age. Let me first say that. Listen, what I would tell you is to sit on the sideline, listen what's going on. Listen exactly what's going on. Pay attention. That's what I would tell you. Listen to the coins we talk about. Do your research. Just listen to what we're talking about, and then do your research. Watch what's going on. Right now, this is probably the better time in crypto because there's more of a clearer narrative of what the coins are going to make it. When I first came in there was a lot of this way, meme coin, that coin, this coin. Right now, the banks and the institutions are showing us the clear ones that are going to be. So I would tell you, look at that. And the big thing, here, listen to this math. Just so you're aware, if you just got into crypto, listen to this math. You're 20 years old. I hope you understand this math right here, okay? I just want to break this down to you. People could tell you what to pick, but let me tell you what the world is picking, all right? I just want to give this example to you since you asked that question. That was a great question. Just want to let you know this. All right. 58% of all the money that's in crypto, right now, crypto has $3.25 trillion. 58% of that, all that crypto, 58% of it is in Bitcoin. 10%, the other 10% is in Ethereum. So understand this. 68%, almost 69%, basically almost 70% of crypto is in Bitcoin and Ethereum. The other 30% is all the other coins. And just so you understand, the top 10 crypto coins make up 85% of all the money that's in crypto. Once again, that top 10, if you go on CoinMarketCap, the top 10 of all the money that's in crypto, 80% of that money, almost even 90% of all the money that's in crypto is in that top 10. All right? So I would tell you to pay attention to that top 10 because that's where 80, 90% of all of it. And then here, 70% of it is in Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right? So pay attention to that before you just start going everywhere, okay? Because people will tell you this meme coin, that meme coin. Learn about these coins, all right? Make sure you learn exactly what's going on, all right? There's all type of research you could do. And that's what, and also, good point, James Davidson. Make sure that you find out what a wallet is. A cold wallet is and a hot wallet. When you buy these coins off these exchanges, do not leave this money on exchanges, all right? And if you want to have a lot of information on YouTube, that a little bit longer than what I have on TikTok. TikTok's some more shorter, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. But if you really want to look up some information, you can go on YouTube. I have the way longer ones that's like an hour long, 12-minute examples. If you want to watch that, they're a little bit more short term that you could look at that. But I would tell you to do that. And watch the Dcryptofan show, man. This is all we do is talk crypto every day, make it easy for you to learn. No hype, no cap, man. Over here, there's no hype. You're not gonna see buy this, buy that. This is more educational. My friend said influencer. I told him I'm not an influencer. I'm an educator. Two different things. I'm not gonna try to influence you to buy anything, ever. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I don't work for these people. I don't know none of them guys. I don't know none of them. Not one. They ain't send me a check. And even if they did, I'm not going to, hell nah. I'm not going to have people buying stuff. I ain't going to have people losing nah, man. I ain't doing that. First of all, I don't want to be responsible for that. I try to give you the good knowledge on the coins. And, of course, we're talking about certain coins for a reason. We talk about certain coins for a reason. I'm not telling you what to buy. I'm not. But we talk about certain coins for a reason. We're not just talking about garbage. There's a reason why people tune in to this channel. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Andrew, Anthony, appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. But you know what I'm saying? Risk taker, appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? We don't do Jake. No Jake over here. No Jake said we don't do wide predictions. We just look up the information. Based on the information, the ladies and gentlemen on this chat will choose what they want to buy. Okay, and then guess what? People have brought things in this chat that I've had to learn. The same telling Bowles, no hype, no cap. I learned about Canton on this chat. You know what I'm saying? Tammy Lynn, she's a big fan of Flair. She's the reason why even I started looking up Flair. And then when Flair's partnership started coming up, I started doing deeper research into Flair. Flair also does smart contracts for Bitcoin and for Doge, just so you're aware of that also. And yeah, so it's a lot of people in the chat bring up things and we'll go digging in the crates. That's why we even know majority of the information that we know, because it comes up in the chat. And the thing is about it is, man, it will hit the chat hard. Like people will keep throwing it in there, throwing it in there, throwing it till we can't even ignore it. Like can't. What was the other one that does the yield? There's another one that does yield, loans. Because you know how Coinbase just came out giving loans, and then there was this medalist that does loans also, and it was come up in the chat. So it's like things will come up in the chat, and they'll come. There you go, Brian Morley. He brought it up. Don't forget Matthews. Yes, medalist. Yes, sir. So it's the chat that we're bringing in. So we learn a lot about this stuff. It's because of chat. We have a well-rounded chat, and they bring a lot of great information, and that's how we learn about these coins. Actually, chat brings it up. We'll go digging in the crates. It's not me that comes up with this stuff. I just want you. Majority of everything comes from the chat, comes from y'all. Like today's content, that's all Tammy Lynn. The content on Canton and XRP, that came up from my homeboys in the chat arguing. One of my homeboys said XRP might be in trouble, and I'm like, nah, it's not in trouble. And the only reason why I know it's not in trouble, because last week we were all talking about, at the end of the chat, we were talking about Canton. So we went and looked up what Canton does, and I realized it's a security protocol between banks and institutions keeping things private. And XRP would be actually given the liquidity to move that. So I already knew at that point they're not in competition. They actually work together. So when he said that, I already knew, and thank God we were ahead of it because of the chat. So it's cool that the chat, y'all got us. You guys got us so ahead, and the things that we're looking up. I'm seeing things on YouTube. I'm like, wait a second, we just talked about that last week. Like they're talking about the Canton. They're talking about, what was it we were talking about that I saw? They were talking about. I was like, wait, time, we already talked about. I forgot what it was, but I was like, man, we already talked about that. I think it was the Ondo tokenization. And it was the tokenization. That's what it was. It was the tokenization. And we were just, I'm like, man, we talk about tokenization every single, it was the tokenization. That's what they were talking about. And I was like, what? That's old news over here. That's all we talk about. And I remember last year, I think last year, around September or August, we said that going further, going into the new year, that we were going to study a lot more on RWAs. And I said that we need to study on RWAs, and we were going to start talking about more. And I think we've done that. I think we've talked about a lot more of real world assets, because we weren't talking about Chainlink and Ondo and H-bar to this math. We talked about H-bar, but we're really hitting these coins a lot on the RWAs and explanation of RWAs. And it's really because these big, you got to follow the money, man. When you got thank you so much. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love, Wizard. When you're talking about Larry Fink, when these people start talking, and it's early, and the world does not, you understand this, we're the only few people in here that know what tokenization is. The world doesn't know what tokenization is. You think the world knows what a goddamn tokenization is, or they even care that's going on? Nobody cares about that, man. They're watching everything else. They're watching Iran. They're watching this. They're not caring about no tokenization. You know what I'm saying? Bo says, I've been reading that ZBEC is unlocking final tokens that this month. True or not? Unlocking final tokens this month. I don't know about that one. I didn't read about that. I didn't even know they had any tokens locked for ZBEC. I didn't even know that. I thought they had from what I understood, they only had 100 billion max supply. So I wouldn't understand how they're gonna be unlocking token. It's crazy that they took the that same max supply, the 100 that XRP did. That's very wild that they did that. But yeah, from what I understand, there's only 100 max supply, so I don't know how that what they would be unlocking. I would have to look in that. And yeah, 98% circulating supply. Yes, sir. Yeah, man, it's wild. It's very, very wild because that's a very so what Bowles is saying. Bowles 99 is saying that 98% is circulating supply. See, like they're different because the max is the circulating supply. It's almost, but you see, if you see XRP now, and majority of coins, they usually have a max supply, and then they have a circulating supply. So XRP has a max supply of 100 billion. That's it. No more, no less. But 60 billion of it is a circulating supply, meaning it's circulating for us to buy. The other 40 billion is an escrow. Okay, it's not for the public to buy. All right, so that's why when we're talking about the max supply. So just want to explain what that is. That's what it is, man. And this is Dcryptofan, man. Like I said, this all we do is break down crypto, make it easy for you to learn. No hype, no cap. If you have any questions, please ask it. You know what I'm saying, before we get off of here. But yeah, man. Yep, exactly. Bowles 99. Yep, ZBack has a max supply of 100 billion. That's exactly what it is. And let me tell you, ZBack reminds me a lot of XRP and the way it's moving towards compliance. I like that. I really do. They remind me a lot of XRP. And I'm not telling y'all to go buy ZBack. I'm just telling you, listen, just because we talk about, I'm not telling you to buy. I'm just telling you these are the coins that we talk about because we actually own this. The reason why Bowles 99 is talking about ZBack because he actually owns ZBack, right? Majority of everybody in this chat owns ZBack, all right? But doesn't mean that I'm telling you to go buy ZBack. A lot of people here own Chainlink. Like there's a lot of people here that own Flare. I don't own Flare, but there's a lot of people that own Flare. You know what I'm saying? There's people here that own Algo, a very good coin. I don't own Algo. Doesn't mean it's not a good coin. So what I'm trying to tell you doesn't mean because I don't own it, don't go buy it, but doesn't mean because I own it, go buy it. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. So that's what I mean. So when you talk about ZBack, Roots is in the building. ZBack 94 billion circulating supply. So that goes to tell you majority of that is all out there. Okay, so it's different than when you see XRP when you're talking about 60 billion circulating supply and then the max supply of 100. So that goes to show you that ZBack has majority of it in circulating supply. All right, so this one, since Bowles brought that up, just want to go ahead and break that down. Tar Heel, am I into privacy tokens? No. You're talking about as far as like Zcash and what's that one? Monero. I know it's Monero and I know Monero. Was it Monero and Zcash? I know those are privacy tokens. Yeah, I know about yeah. That's why people really yeah, I know my stuff now, Tar Heel. I know my stuff. That's why people really push that Zcash. They think that that's gonna be the next Bitcoin. Yeah, that's what they thinking. That's why they push that Zcash because of the privacy. Yeah. See, so you understand, the Canton's privacy is between banks and institutions and Canton is compliant. So then you have Zcash. That's private. You know what I'm saying? That's moving. Banks ain't messing with Zcash because Zcash, you don't know where the money's coming from. So what happened is, remember, they want to make sure that they doing. That's why we talked about the KYC and the AML. When they moving that monies, they want to make sure that these banks, they don't want to get violations and get fined for doing money laundering. So now, if you want to go ahead and hide your monies, then you would do Zcash. James Davidson, we rolling tonight for real, huh? Hey James, the content tonight is strong. We are definitely rolling tonight. It's great content, great flow of conversation. So Canton will be different because of the privacy, but it's compliant privacy. And remember, it's different because it's regulated compliance. So basically, they're saying, yeah, it's compliant, but we know the users. We know that the users are keeping it compliant with them, but we know who the users are. It's different. So that's different. And then also you will still have the AML compliant to it for the anti-money laundering. So that would be the difference with Canton. With Zcash, they don't know nothing. They ain't nothing to know about it. You want to move a Billy, you want to what's called, you a dope boy. Hey, you a dope boy, a scammer, that's Zcash. That's what you do right there. Now, you're a company, a corporation, and you want to handle like me and you handling trades, and I'm a corporation or a bank, and I want to handle our trades and make sure it's private, then we would use Canton. Two different things. And if you want to move some monies and really be hitting and behind it, then you would do that Monroe. Monroe, was it? Let me make sure I'm saying it right. I don't want to make sure I'm not saying it wrong. Monero. It's XMR. It's ranked number 14. You can use that too. So those would be the coins there that you would be using. You know what I'm saying? The XMR. Yep, right there, Tar Heel. Exactly. You got it. Y'all got it exactly what it is. Tar Heel, you got it exactly. Canton's for institutional, Zcash and XMR Monroe, that's for the dope boys. That's for the scammers. And Marshall, and listen, I'm not telling nobody to buy this. I'm just telling you what it does. Remember, this is all here for education. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why I know these coins like the back of my hand is because it comes up in the chat so much. And then we used to do what we call digging in the crates, where at the end of every night, we go looking up for coins. So we'll look up to see who the co-founder is. We'll look up to see what the white paper is, look to see when it was launched, look to see what the circulating supply is. So and then the things that will do that same coin over and over and over and over again. And then by the sixth time, because we start knowing like the back of our hand, and then we start seeing news on it. Yeah, so that's how we're learning these coins, man. But yeah, that's what it is, man. Tar Heel, you look like you like that dark web stuff, boy. Hey, Tar Heel, he like that. Hey, Tar Heel, he like that. He like that dark web stuff. Prime time. What's up, brother? What's going on? What's up, Crypto Gang? What's going on, my brother? Hey, what's going on? We got prime time in the building. Hey, look, hey, Brian. Wait, look, Brian said, "Hey, Tar Heel 100. You ain't the only one." I got y'all, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, listen, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. It's good that hey, listen, we educate ourselves on what these coins do. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, Brian is right there with you, boy. Hey, Brian, let me tell you, your boy Tar Heel got your back, man. He got your back, man. That Tar Heel was like, nah, man, my dog, he wasn't doing it like that, man. Bring my boy back. So your boy Tar Heel that's a good dude right there, man. He got your back, man. I mess with y'all, man. I appreciate both of y'all, man. Y'all bring a lot to the chat, man. Appreciate both of y'all, man. Really appreciate y'all. Yeah, man. Really appreciate y'all, man. Really do, man. For real though, and the thing is that it creates conversation. Because the thing is that maybe other people didn't know what Zcash does. A lot of people didn't know what Monroe was. So the fact, and Canton, so the fact that we're able to break it down, because unless we got in these conversations, we wouldn't have no reason to break it down. Unless we had these conversations, I would never have a reason to look it up. So I want to thank y'all for also helping me get my knowledge of crypto mass. Because you guys and gals, I want to say gals because Tammy Lynn, the content that we covered today was hers. So I want to make sure that I give a shout out to her because she sent me all that stuff that you saw on H-Bar with FedEx. That was Tammy Lynn sent me that. Tammy Lynn sent me the DTCC with Evernorth, the brokerage. She sent me that also. Yeah, Tammy Lynn sent me basically everything. And then my homeboy Roots, he just came on there. He's the one who said that XRP might be in trouble for Canton. And then I'm just thankful that we went over it last week, and we went over Canton for like a good 20 minutes at the end of the chat. So that's why I knew exactly what Canton did. And I would never know what Canton did unless because you gals and jets keep bringing up. Let me tell you, y'all was hitting me in the head with Canton. I was like, Canton. I was like, all right. Let's go dig in the crates, man. We got to go see what this thing is doing. And I'm happy that we did. You know what I'm saying? And just like Brian brought up medalists. And we went looking that up, and that's how we found out that they're also giving loans also besides and actually lower rates, lower interest rates. It seemed like they had lower interest rates than Coinbase. So that was kind of interesting. You know what I mean? That was interesting. So I want to thank y'all for bringing that up. And let me tell you, we also yeah, Metal X lending. Thank you. Exactly. That's exactly right there. So I didn't even know what that was. And they brought up to the chat. So I actually learned that from Tar Hill and Brian. And Brian was very Brian has a heart of a lion and tenacity of a pit bull. He was like, "Yo, you're gonna look up this matter list." Am I saying it right? I hope I'm probably chopping it up. But Brian had a tenacity of a pit bull, boy. That boy was like, "You're gonna look this thing up, man." Hey, Brian, you got a heart of a lion and tenacity of a pit bull. But I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you bringing that information to the chat, man. That boy got the heart of a lion, tenacity of a pit bull. You like that, huh? Old Jamaican cat, the Reverend. Yeah, the Reverend taught me. He used to say that to me when I was young, when I was a salesman. He used to say to me when I was young. He used to tell me when I was a salesman. Now I'm a finance director, but when I was a salesman, we call him the pastor, the Reverend, and he used to be like, "Randy, you have a heart of a lion, and tenacity of a pit bull." It's like, damn. I was like, damn, I like that. I was like, damn, I like that. And I was like 22 years old, 23 years old. And he said that to me. I was like, damn. I was like, damn, that was strong. That boy said, "You have a heart of a lion and tenacity of a pit bull." This man walking around with a Bible. You know what I'm saying? Ew. He's a salesman. He's a salesman selling cars with a Bible. That tells you something right there. That's my old school Jamaican brethren, man. That cool man, cool dude, man. But he came up with that, so I want to give him his props. He told me that. He told me that 27 years old, so I want to give him props. I don't want to make it. I ain't gonna act like I'm the originator of that. I gotta give it to Gramps, man. He's the originator of that right there, man. He looked at me. He said, "Randy," and he said it so cool with a Jamaican accent. "Randy, you got the heart of a lion and tenacity of a pit bull." I was like, damn. Yeah. Hey, praise him and buy this Toyota. Exactly, Boss Buddha. Hey, Boss Buddha. Hey, Boss Buddha. Let me pray for you that you're going to buy this Toyota. This car is for you. And the Lord has spoken to me. This is your car. That was my guy, man. That was my guy. But anyway, man, tonight was a great way to start the week. That was a good way to start the Monday. Boy, we was on fire today. I thought we was about to slow down an hour ago. We went in 2 hours tonight. Y'all got me in for 2 hours. Sometimes the conversation flows like that, and it's all cool. We had $2.34 trillion in crypto, and the fear and greed index is at 20%. We were just at 15%. We're at 20%, man. So yeah. So I hope y'all appreciate the live. I appreciate y'all, man. Tonight was a good night. I hope that this is a good night, man. I hope the week continues. When we start off on Monday like this, man, usually we have a good week. Last week, I ain't gonna lie to you, the last weeks it's been cool, man. We've had some. I know it might not show up in the prices, but we've learned a lot of great information, even with Ondo. And let me tell you, I'm backed up on the episodes I gotta do, because I gotta do the Flare episode on the fastest, and not doing the one button on Xaman wallets. I need to do that to show that XRP entering the DeFi. Then I gotta do Ondo. Besides doing the 185 million, I want to do the one on Ondo now with Binance that I did with you guys, explaining the Binance being able to buy buy stocks, non-US, US, what would it be? Non-US whatever, non-US buyers. So you can be anybody living outside the US can go on Binance, and now you can buy stocks. And the stocks would be like, say you're gonna buy Apple. So you would go on Binance, you would buy Apple ON. The ON stands for Ondo. So let's say you're buying Tesla. You buy Tesla ON, NVIDIA ON. So now you could buy these stocks on Binance 24 hours. So now that's giving the stock market exposure, basically giving exposure to the rest of the world, because now you go on Binance and buy that tokenized version of that stock. And when now you have Ondo is doing that tokenization. So I got to do an episode of that. Then also, there's another episode that and also Chainlink is doing the data that's giving Ondo the data for those stocks and those treasuries on time. So yeah, man. And oh wow, Wally B says it's on Kraken too. See, this is wild. When that adaptation happens, when it starts moving fast, see, that's wild. If you could buy stocks on Kraken, that's crazy if Ondo has it. That's why I'm telling you this, Ondo people, do not sleep on Ondo. And I'm not telling you to buy it, but I've been buying. Avalanche. Oh, so you understand, do not sleep on Avalanche. For all that tokenization we're talking about, just understand, Avalanche is the last settlement. You mother sucker. You mother sucker. You always get me, dog. You always get me, boy. You know the right timing, boy. You always get me with that right there, dog. Hey, Masperano be coming around. Hey, you always get me with that fart coin, boy. You are funny, dog. You be coming to talk about fart coin. Hey, sometimes we need some laughs, man. That's the way to end the. That's the way to end the show, man. That's the way to end the night. Fart coin. Well, you always get me, dog. I love it, man. Yeah, man. Anyway, it's Dcryptofan. Where all we do is talk crypto, make it easy for you to learn, no hype, man. So I'm gonna put out these episodes. Man. Just that, trust me, man, editing them and getting them right, because I write those episodes. All those episodes that you see are scripted. So when I do those episodes, there's no freestyle. It's not like when we do the live. I actually get the real information, make sure that everything's real, because I try to make sure that all those episodes I do are evergreen. That's what I do. When you hear evergreen, means that it grows forever, that you can always go back to it, make sure it's tied up. Because actually one of the cats there, my homeboy Roots, boy, you better not slip, boy. That boy going, let me say something wrong, boy. That boy going to crucify me, boy. I got to make sure that everything is lined up, because people, boy, they'll be in that chat trying to destroy you. Say one thing wrong. I mean, one time I was like, XRP was in a lawsuit for what? I was like 4 years. He was like, man, it wasn't 4 years, it was 3 years and 9 months, man. Don't lie and say 4 years, man. Why you adding that extra 3 months, man? I was like, what the damn, dog? Damn. Don't kill me for the extra 3 months, dog. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? They be, what? They be wanting to destroy you, boy. I'm like, God damn, boy. Man, it was 3 months, 9 days, and 40 hours and 25 seconds, man. Don't do that. I was like, God damn, dog. Take it easy, man. So I gotta make sure that when I do these episodes, it's all 100, man, because they'll come for you, man. Yeah, that's how these people are in the Tar Heel. That's how these people are in the space, boy. They looking to tear you up. So I gotta make sure when I do these episodes, it's a lot of information. But I already wrote the Ondo episode, the Binance episode. I'm just trying to think which one is more important. The Binance episode with them having the tokenized stocks, the Flare episode with the, and it's trying to figure out which one goes first, and then you got to let it breathe. There's a lot of stuff that goes in there, man. Well, yeah, man. Look at Brian says the heart of a lion better be able to back yourself up. Let me tell you that, boy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Brian, you already know. You already know. Say less, man. You already know, man. So when I bring y'all the information, trust me, I make sure that I don't have no holes in that information, because I don't. And plus, really, 100% though, real talk though, I don't want to lead people down the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. The last thing I want to do is give y'all the wrong information, and then now, because I gave you the wrong information, y'all lost out. So that's the real reason. I just want to make sure that I don't have people going down the wrong road and giving the wrong information. So I'd rather just tell you honest, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know. So that I'd rather say that than try to guess or speculate, because in this space, speculation could cost you a lot of money, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of money. Solhan, you already know. Appreciate you too, bro. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate it. So that's why I try to be as transparent as possible so that you can do your own decision, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Appreciate y'all. Like we always do, is Dcryptofan. And you already know, man, because we'll keep going. I'll be here at 11 o'clock. I said bye to y'all like 10 times. That's my problem, man. I don't know how to say goodbye. Anyway, manana, man. Love y'all. I cook food, man. Tonight was a great night. We talked about a lot of great stuff. So yeah, man, just want to get in that. We talked about, oh my God, we talked about so much stuff. We went everywhere. Zcash to we went to Zcash, Monroe, Ondo, XRP, Flare, DTCC, Evernorth, brokerage. I mean, HBAR, FedEx. I mean, we hit it tonight. We hit a lot of content tonight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do the replay. And for people that missed out, I'm putting the replays back again on YouTube. So if you missed out on the replay, you'll be there. You'll hear the things that you won't see all this, and you'll hear your names. It's crazy. I'm gonna be like, you're Tar Heel. Brian, you got a heart like a lion. You're like, who's he talking to? No heart. You see nothing. It's just the replay live. So when y'all hear your names on the live, know that the world is hearing who you guys are. Like, what? Like Tar Heel, who's Tar Heel? And they're gonna be like, James Davison. They want to know who is this James Davison that he keeps saying? This Tammy Lynn. He's gonna say, Julia. I gotta see who's Julia, because your names come up so much on these YouTube replays. So I know people are like, yo, who is these people that he keeps saying their names over and over and over again? You know what I'm saying? Especially it goes over for like a year now. I've been doing it, so you'll see it there, man. But anyway, you can find it on YouTube if y'all want to tune in, man. But anyways, Dcryptofan, where all we do is talk crypto, make it easy for you to learn, no hype, no cap. And we just broke 7,000 followers tonight, y'all. Finally, we just broke 7,000. When I got on, I was only 3 followers away. I think 6 followers away from breaking 7,000. So thank y'all for helping me break 7,000, sharing the information, man. That's huge for me. 7,000 followers and clean followers, the people that really want to be here. This is dope for me. Thank you. So I really appreciate y'all. That's a big move for me, man. So now we on the move to go to 8,000. So I want to tell y'all, I really, really appreciate all that y'all do. The reposts. I see the reposts. I see the likes. I see the saves. I see it all. So I want to say I appreciate all of y'all, the likes, everything. Thank you for helping the chat grow and helping the channel grow, man. Let's get this information out there, man. You already know what time, man. That's it. Brian said, I just realized I ain't even following you. What? Damn, Brian, bro. You ain't following me, bro. What's up, man? Damn, Brian. I just told you had heart of a lion, man. Tenacity of a pit bull. I'm just joking, man. Appreciate you following me, bro. Or it follows you when, boy, you taught me something new, man. Appreciate that. We back. That's my brother right there. We back, man. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you following me. It's the Dcryptofan. Have a great night. We'll be back at it mañana. Please be careful out there. All right. Love y'all like cook food. Mañana liquidity. That's money right